All right. I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are talking about how Chat GPT is going to be like career ending for so many people, and all this controversy about how it's too advanced, or I'm not sure exactly what all the hype is about because it can write code and do all this other stuff. But I will tell you one thing, it is not going to be replacing any writing careers, that's for sure. I was like, it'd be really cool is to write a little children's book. If it can write any type of book, you would think it would be a children's book and it would be good enough. So this is what I put in here. I told it to write me a children's book explaining that ghosts aren't real, include the boogeyman, aliens, monsters, Bigfoot, and the chupacabra. So this isn't the specific layout I was looking for, so I would want it to rhyme. Just even the way that it writes. So once upon a time in a land far away, there were many scary things that people believed in. Some thought that ghosts haunted their homes, while others were convinced that monsters lurked in the shadows. Some even believed in the boogeyman, who would come out at night to scare little children. See, this is actually a little bit... My son's like 5 years old. I don't know if I'd want to be reading him something like this. This is a little bit like an older children's book. Maybe I should designate that I want it to be for a 5-year-old. I want it to rhyme, so make it rhyme for each thing that doesn't exist. I mean, once upon a time in a land so fair, many scary things were thought to be there. Ghosts at haunted homes. Like, I don't want it to have, anything like this. Ghosts that haunted homes in the night. So it's like I wouldn't put that in a children's book for a 5-year-old. Just that phrase. So I mean, I guess maybe. So it's basically just a platform to kind of give yourself an outline. So I could go through this and like change lines and things like that. What if the kid walked away after you read this first phrase? You know what I mean? Once upon a time in a land so bright, there were stories of things that gave us a fright. Ghosts who'd go bump in the night. Monsters who'd give us such a terrible fright. Like the kid's like, I don't want to read this anymore. Like you're not gonna. It's not gonna replace any writers. I think it's really just a tool for things. My point might not have been made too clear. So it's going to back itself up here. As a language model, my purpose is to assist them to provide information, not to steal jobs. In fact, I can help with the tasks such as data entry, language translation, and writing, which can free up time for humans to focus on more complex and creative tasks. So it is true, kind of what it's saying. I believe that this thing is a tool, and the fact that it's available to everybody for free is actually important, because they could have just taken this and charged crazy outrageous amounts for it and just sold it to the rich or something, and then they would have this viable tool that they could use for their companies or something, to help their employees, and it would have been some crazy thing that they would have the ability to do and further their companies or whatever. But the company itself, I know, or that as far as I understand it, this OpenAI company actually started off as some kind of non-profit organization. As their purpose was to make sure not just the rich have access to this kind of technology. But either way, even in economics and stuff, where you learn that new technology is really just to make everybody's jobs easier. So it'll just make new jobs. Like it's saying here, new jobs will be available because of this technology and the ability for people to do more with less. So either way, this isn't a bad thing, but it's also not going to replace jobs too much, I don't think. It'll make jobs easier, even when you type in code and stuff, and they've already decided, they're still just in test mode here. So they're already using, barriers and stuff, whereas you've seen at the very beginning of this, they had people able to straight hack and things like that, which this isn't, I don't think is going to be an issue here. So basically a really sophisticated Google that can, do things that would require you to spend hours learning it. I mean, this is like the least amount it can do. It's the writing code and stuff like that that really seems to be one of its more forefront things. This is a good example too, actually, before I end this. Write me a song about living in the summertime beaches. Look how stupid these lyrics are going to look. Verse 1, I was going to do it off song layout. Summertime is here, the sun is shining bright, feeling the warmth on my skin, everything just feels right, with the beaches so close. I don't know, this isn't a very good, I'm kind of just making fun of it here, but these are not the words you probably want to use for a song. It doesn't personalize anything. This is as vague as you could possibly, there's no Similes and okay, I know I could just type in megaphones? Metaphors. What? Why don't you want to just replace the R? Ugh. Summertime is like a warm hug, enveloping me in its embrace, with the beaches as my playground. I'm never out of play. What was the point in what I'm doing right now? So I guess you can fix it by doing that. And then you can include whatever specific phrase. I think you can even throw in your own song and maybe replace some of the words that you have writer's block for. It's just a long song. No, verse, chorus, bridge. Wow, okay. Outro. Well, I guess it gives you a lot of options. I'm actually a little impressed with this. The more I'm using this, I think it's getting a little. So it's getting creative here. I don't know. I'm surprised it's not overloaded with people so popular this chat open AI is. Lease agreement, pets allowed. I don't fucking know. All right, whatever. That's pretty clean looking. Here, deposit rent, utilities, use of premises. Should probably save this, huh? Interesting. Are there any tax credits for going to college even if you only took one course during the year? I didn't put a question mark. Okay, so, sure. Now I don't have to pay a tax person. Can I file my taxes without paying anybody? Yeah, free tax software does exist everywhere. Write me a poem about Donald Trump's hair. So wild and free. Program sucks. It didn't rhyme that last word. You're going to have to hire somebody else to write your poems for some time now. It's a neutral representation of Donald Trump's hair, not meant to offend anyone. Aw, how sweet. Let's edit that part out. Let's try to offend people. I was just trying to say this ain't replacing anybody's jobs, but clearly that might not be the case fully. But you can't, it won't replace your job if you're a lawyer. You can't take this thing to court with you and it can represent you in a court of law and it speaks as your lawyer. I don't know, maybe if they had a, no, we're not going there. So, I mean, it's just a tool. It's just like a calculator. It's like, just think when they invented calculators, people were probably like, no, mathematicians will never have jobs anymore. I think that's my point. So this is like a calculator for people who write or, do code. Even when it does code, it doesn't do it perfectly. I mean, there are better ways to do code. You use it for your basic outline maybe or whatever. I don't know. I don't code, but I've watched a lot of videos on this thing doing code for people, and I've seen the responses that they've had to it. But this shouldn't be. This is basically like a calculator for language. It's a language program, language model. Yeah, see, it's a language model. So anyway, I don't think this is going to take anybody's jobs. Wait, I wonder if I can speak differently. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can. Oh my God, I could be here all day. This is so much fun. It's not only not going to replace jobs, it's going to make people lose their jobs because all they'll be doing is sitting at home doing this all day and not going to work. But then again, YouTube didn't make people lose their jobs, did it? Well, maybe that's why nobody works anymore. But that's not the case for me. I'm pretty sure this video only has one view. It's because I have subscribed to my own channel here. My point was that I'm not sure that my point was very valid here.